This film begins with two men named Victor and Darcy. Darcy tells Victor about how his life has changed since becoming a father.
We're not meant to be alone.
Then at that time, they received a call and were ordered to go to the house of their Mafia boss named Alphonse. It is also known that Victor is a hitman who works for the Mafia. Arriving at his boss's residence, they found a refrigerator in the basement. And when they opened it, they found the body of one of Alphonse's henchmen named Paul. In addition, they find a note with the number 719, and a key to open a briefcase, in which there are photos of Alphonse, who has been receiving such threats for some time, and this time Alphonse has an idea of who that person is.
Who's doing this to me?
Alphonse and his men then went to the club of a friend of his, Harry, but Harry knew nothing about it. However, Alphonse found that Harry's handwriting was almost identical to the writing in the threatening letter, so he shot Harry in the head. Subsequently, a violent firefight ensued between Alphonse's men and the Jamaicans. Alphonse is cornered, but Victor saves his life. Victor kills 3 men by himself and gains his trust. One day in his apartment, Victor looks out the window and realizes that his neighbor Beatrice is watching him. She was a mysterious young woman who lived in an apartment with her mother across the street from Victor's apartment. Beatrice begins to contact Victor and shows interest in him. She left a note with her phone number in Victor's mailbox. Then Victor immediately called Beatrice, and Victor said that they should get to know each other better.
I thought it would be nice to finally meet you.
On their first date, they start to get to know each other better. But then Beatrice asked him to go for a drive, and revealed her true intentions. Beatrice had a video of Victor killing a man, and wanted him to kill the drunk driver who injured her in a car accident. Otherwise she would report Victor to the police. Hearing that, Victor tried to silence her by pulling out his gun, but accidentally fired at the window, and immediately drove his car fast.
Tell them what I saw.
Arriving at an intersection, Beatrice told him that he had to accept her offer, or kill her. Beatrice then got out of Victor's car. When Beatrice returns home and gets the newspaper, we learn that the drunk driver has been locked up for 3 weeks. The next day, Victor and an old friend, Gregor, go to a gun dealer, where they buy a sniper rifle. Gregor asks him why he is still working with Alphonse after all this time, if his goal is to kill him. We then learn the truth about Victor's past. He has infiltrated a criminal empire run by a ruthless mafia boss, in order to make him pay for brutally killing his wife 2 years ago, and Alphonse's men also accidentally killed his daughter.
Bigger spy than that. That's not the biggest spy you want.
Next, Victor went to an abandoned ship, where he gave food and drink to a man he had kidnapped. He has kidnapped the brother of an Albanian boss named Ilir, who was involved in helping Alphonse finish off Victor's family. His plan was to unite the Albanians and Alphonse's men, so that he could more easily eliminate them all.
You don't know who you're messing with! My brother, he will not stop looking for me. He will find you! He will kill you!
Later, he visited Beatrice to talk about the person he was going to kill. He has been following her for several days, and tells her that he still needs time. Meanwhile, Beatrice's mother shows Victor pictures of Beatrice before the accident, a beautiful girl. Next, Victor overhears a conversation between Alphonse and one of his business associates, Lon. Lon scolds him for killing Harry and his men. In the process, Victor positions himself with a sniper in a building to kill Alphonse. Lon reveals that she received photographs of Alphonse and a note addressed to him. In addition, he reveals that he received a key and asks if Alphonse knows about it. When Alphonse reads the two notes together, he realizes that it was not Harry who threatened him, but someone else. Meanwhile, Beatrice is in the car and sees Victor in the building. Lon tells Alphonse that he can no longer manage their property, as his dangerous situation could jeopardize the business. Darcy investigates the source of the threat and tells his men to warn Alphonse that he is in danger.
There's a problem. We need to go.
As Alphonse leaves the restaurant, Victor kills the driver and sends a message asking if he has received the key. Immediately, Victor begins to flee, as Alphonse's men try to catch him. After they enter the building, Victor wraps a rope around the neck of one of his men and throws him out the window. Killing another man, Victor tries to escape into the street, and Beatrice arrives by car to help him. She climbs into the car, and Alphonse's minions start following them.
Over here!
What the fuck are you doing?
A few blocks later, she parks her car, and Victor begins kissing her as the men approach the car. Darcy opened the door, and Victor confusedly said that he had just arrived.
Fuck around! Turn the fuck around!
Hi, I'm Beatrice.
You told me to get here.
I'm sorry I made him late.
What's going on? You see one man here, Vic? No.
Darcy and the others went to Alphonse to inform him that the shooter had escaped in a taxi. Alphonse orders them to find out where the taxi is going and leaves. Afterwards, Victor leaves with Darcy, who is determined to help Alphonse to move up in the criminal organization. Subsequently, Alphonse uses the key to open the mailbox, where he finds certain missing pieces of photographs. When Victor returns home, he calls Beatrice. He visits her, and he asks if Beatrice is following him. Beatrice denies it, but she admits to helping him. As they talk, Victor tells her how Alphonse killed his family, and now he wants revenge. He asked if there had been any progress in killing the man who had disfigured his face, but Victor replied that there had not. One night, he waits for the guilty person to leave the house, so that he can sneak into his house. Elsewhere, Alphonse finds a hidden microphone in his phone. The next morning, Victor goes to an abandoned warehouse, the headquarters of Alphonse's gang. He climbs into the attic to check the explosives he has set, and at that moment, Alphonse and his men enter. After discovering a problem with the remote control, he descended from the penthouse and joined the others. Afterwards, Victor contacted Gregor, who told him that he needed to be near the depot to detonate everything, or else he would have to change the system. Victor tells him that he doesn't have time to change everything, so he has to take the risk.
There's a barrier, your signals won't get through. What is the application for your trigger?
Meanwhile, Beatrice visits him and finds his room, where he planned everything. Victor reveals that he fought in the war. When Beatrice learns that Victor risked his life for revenge, Beatrice becomes upset, as she feels something for him.
How come an engineer knows so much about guns and...
Military service, back home. Now you know everything.
Bye.
Next, Ilir, the leader of the Albanian gang, receives a package with a photo of his kidnapped brother. He, just like Alphonse, also receives Victor's family photo, which must be put together. Later that evening, Darcy calls Victor's intercom and reveals that she has found the sniper who wants to kill Alphonse. The two go to the place where the taxi driver took Paul before he was killed. However, they do not find anything useful, and Victor tells Darcy that he must leave. At night, Victor goes to the abandoned warehouse, but is met by Alphonse and his men. Alphonse, knowing that the threat is coming from someone in his gang, sets a trap, so that anyone who shows up at the safe house to talk to him will be identified as a traitor. When Victor shows up, Alphonse threatens him, saying that he will find the object most favored by the person who threatened him, and burn it. However, since Victor had saved his life before, Alphonse was reluctant to believe that Victor was a traitor, and did nothing.
The person doing this to me, he's hurt. And it's a pain that I've caused. Someone who lost someone, like the people in
Later, Victor went to his hostage, and asked him to make a video in exchange for his freedom, to say that he was being held hostage by Alphonse. Victor then frees the rats, and lets them eat him, but changes his mind and shoots him to end his suffering. Later, he meets Beatrice, and asks her to send the tape to Iller, to make it look as if Alphonse betrayed him and kidnapped his brother. Victor meets with Darcy, who is still investigating Paul's death. Darcy reveals that Paul was looking for the grave of a Hungarian man, but she still doesn't know why. Next, Victor meets with Gregor, and reveals that Darcy is close to finding the tomb, so they will find out soon. Gregor tells him that he still has time to escape, but he knows that it is hard for Victor to leave everything behind.
You didn't die 2 years ago.
I know why. You've been waiting so long. I think you're afraid that when it's over, it won't mend your heart.
One day, when Beatrice was walking in the street, some boys threw stones at her, and she fell down, injuring her head. When Victor visited her and saw the wound, she simply said that she had fallen. He told her that he sent the tape to Iller. As Victor is about to leave, he invites her to meet again, and she accepts. Darcy calls Victor, and reveals that the person who threatened Alphonse and kidnapped Iller's brother might be the Hungarian, Laszlo Kerik, the man they believed they had killed, along with his family. The bottom line is that Victor is actually Laszlo Kerik, and he changed his name to avoid the gang's suspicion. In the evening, Victor picks Beatrice up for a date. He tells her that he finally plans to kill the man who has ruined her face. He also confesses to not loving her as he confesses to having feelings for her. He states that they cannot have a future together. They arrive at the bar that the drunken man frequents, and when he leaves, Victor shoots him. Once finished, Victor takes Beatrice home. Meanwhile, Alphonse and his men follow Darcy to the cemetery, where they find Laszlo's grave.
No, it's this one.
June 17th is tomorrow. 2 years ago, right?
So you're saying it's someone who knew him?
He must have.
The little girl died June 17th.
The next day, Iller receives a package. Alphonse calls him to ask if he believes Laszlo is dead. Beatrice receives a letter saying that Victor did not kill his driver so that they could spend more time together, as he knows the psychological impact the murder had on her. Darcy arrives at Victor's house to pick him up, but as he does not answer, she breaks down the door and enters the house. Beatrice revealed in a phone call to Victor that she did not send him the tape, as she did not want to see Victor die. She told him that they could escape together.
You knew how I would feel. I could love you. I don't want you to die. We can run away. Travel by night. I don't care how far we have to go.
Meanwhile, Darcy discovers Victor's true intentions by investigating his apartment. When Beatrice returns home, Darcy confronts her.
Laszlo fucking Kerik.
I don't want to fucking kill you.
She takes his mobile phone and calls Victor Laszlo, saying everyone is waiting for him at Alphonse's house. Victor goes to Alphonse's house, where the Albanians also live. As all the phones in the house start ringing, Victor crashes into the house with his car. Next, a shootout ensues. Victor kills all of his henchmen in the shootout, except Darcy, whose life he saves. Victor heads to where Beatrice is being held captive, on the top floor by Alphonse and Iller. She escapes their scrutiny, while Victor distracts them by shooting, and starts playing the footage on the computer. When Iller hears the tape, he points his gun at Alphonse, who he believes has betrayed him. Alphonse raises the gun in self-defense, and angrily tells her to put it down, but they both end up shooting each other.
What does it mean? What the fuck are you doing, man? You fucking do it! Explore the fucking car!
As Victor flees with Beatrice, Darcy confronts them with his pistol raised. When asked if he forgives Darcy because he has a wife and child, Victor says no, because they do. Darcy lowered his gun and let the two go.
Did you choose not to kill me because I got a wife and a kid? I didn't kill you because I've got you.
Victor and Beatrice head home on the subway and kiss.